gentlemen, to the inaugural episode of the Woodhaven Wired podcast. We're thrilled to delve into all the exciting developments at Woodhaven Country Club and beyond. Our mission with this podcast is to keep you well informed of what's going on at Woodhaven and to showcase the warm and welcoming atmosphere of the friendliest club in town. I'm your host, T. Gridge, the owner of Tile Grace Marketing, who handles the marketing efforts for Woodhaven. I'm also a long-standing member of the golf profession. Joining me today are two distinguished guests, Woodhaven's own Richard Schmitt and the third-generation owner of Woodhaven Country Club, Chance Maguire. Again, today's goal is to discuss the history of Woodhaven Country Club and what makes Woodhaven so unique. Gentlemen, welcome, and how are we doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having us out.
This is something that I've been just kind of jacked up to do. We've been talking about this with the management over at Woodhaven, and I'm really glad to kind of get this off the ground. I really think your members are going to really enjoy what we have in store for them here today.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so Chance, let's start with you here. We're going to dive into kind of the history of Woodhaven. So tell me about your family and how Woodhaven got started.
Okay. Well, it started with my grandparents, Ray and Florence Bischoff, and they were social folks and really did a lot of church dances and barn dances and things of that nature, and they decided to start a club. So in 1952, they started Wildwood Country Club, which is right across from Woodhaven Country Club.
Wow, okay.
And it didn't go exactly like they had planned, and so they sold that in 1957, and at the same year started building Woodhaven Country Club. So that's how it got started, and they ran it for years and years. And then my mother, Shirley Maguire, and my father, Stanley Maguire, ended up taking over somewhere in the late 70s, I believe it was. And they ran it for years and years. And then my brother and I came on in the early 90s, and I've been there ever since. So
your grandparents built the course, built the club, built everything.
Built everything.
And
yes,
they built Wildwood.
And they built Wildwood.
I had no idea.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And they didn't even play golf. I have no idea really why they started, other than for, it was a big deal to have social functions and family for them. And so country club is the direction they went with.
Well, it makes a ton of sense. So Richard is a long-term mentor of mine. I worked under Richard for several years. And I know when we were in the golf business together, Woodhaven was one of those things like, what are they doing over there? Like, why are they so successful? It's kind of the secret sauce. We could never figure out how you guys just killed it the entire time. And it was, you knew who you were, and it was just, the membership was constantly packed. Everybody was constantly happy. We were always trying to emulate what you guys did, but could never figure it out. I mean, you could speak to that, right, Richard?
Amen. And the social buzz in town was always at the top of the charts. And I know there's a long history there that, started way back when, our pool now, our family pool, we'll talk about that a little bit. The vision that Chance's grandfather had to build that type of family pool at that time, 1957.
Right.
And it's still today one of the coolest and safest, friendliest pools in town. And it's just amazing what he did back in that day.
So, Richard, now that you're kind of behind the scenes, and I should mention, you've had some other pretty lucrative offers at some other prestigious clubs, and you've turned them down to stay at Woodhaven. Now that you're kind of behind the scenes, what's the secret sauce?
Well, it really starts with family, and that's, being a part of more than just a club. It really is every day you feel like you're a family member there. We try to treat our members like they're family members. And the history is just so unique. We don't have to deal with boards of directors and people telling us, well, this is the way we've always done it at our club, right?
Right.
And so we like to think outside the box. When Chance and I got together, some 6-7 years ago and started talking about a collaboration, we just hit it off immediately because our thoughts were always, what can we do bigger, better, and really shake up the country club world. We don't want to be the same old thing, the same model. And I think that's why we've been so successful. That's why Chance has brought the club to where it is today.
Well, and that was my next question. I mean, Chance, you've really brought Woodhaven to a whole new level. Tell us how it evolved into the club that we know today.
When I got there about 31 years ago, we hadn't reinvested a lot of money into the club at the time, and it was a bit dilapidated. And instantly, we knew that we needed to start reinvesting in the club. And we borrowed some money, and the first thing that we did, as Richard mentioned, our pools. We really wanted to make those shine, and so we knocked out one of the walls of the building and created a more open area, and created the Woodhaven Cabana, and that really took off back in probably 95, 96. And my brother and I just decided, the one thing that we really wanted to do, as Richard's already mentioned, we wanted to improve every single year in every single way, and that was really the start of how it got going. And then, a little bit later, we decided. At the time, we had only had one bar that took care of everybody, the members and the guests.
Right.
So if we had a wedding or an event or something like that, it was one bar, and you might have been at a wedding standing on one side, and I was just finishing up a round standing on the other side. So we wanted to create another bar just for the membership.
Sure.
And we created the lounge, and membership started to really grow, and then we added another area because we were expanding, and the membership just kept growing. So we built a waterfall patio, and that's been a huge asset for us as well. The membership loves it. We've got 2 nice waterfalls outside of there, and now we need all of that space, including the cabana, which is closed in right now in the wintertime, for all of our big events. And it's worked out great for us.
Man, what you guys have done on the social side, and what I keep hearing here is reinvest. So I'm hearing that you're taking what you guys make and you're reinvesting into the club to make it better. And maybe
100%.
that's part of the secret, right? The other thing I keep hearing, it's all social based.
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot. Normally, you talk about country clubs, you're like, well, we're going to do this to the bunkers, or we're going to reinvest here or that.
Right.
It sounds like a lot of this has been social focused.
Well, it absolutely has. The best thing about Woodhaven always has been the membership. When my grandfather started it, he didn't want to have a pretentious club. He wanted it to be a fun family place where everybody could gather with their family and friends and hang out. And that the membership, you walk in, at some clubs, it's a little uppity. You walk in and people are kind of
a little
like,
stuffy.
Who's the new guy?
No doubt.
Who is that?
No doubt.
And at Woodhaven, when you walk in, it's like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? I haven't met you before. And it's just a totally different atmosphere.
Right.
And we love people. We care about people, and it shines through.
Now, what's the membership look like these days? Is there still a waiting list?
There is a waiting list. What are we, probably 3 years, 2 to 3 years on the golf membership, which we're blessed to have that.
That's unbelievable.
Trying to get people in. It's not our nature really to turn people away from membership.
Sure.
We want everybody to be able to get in. Just don't have room right now.
So, Richard, when you came over, I know the golf side was a focus of yours. You wanted to kind of improve what was being done on the tournament side and the golf course, and I know it was kind of a big focus. What have you been able to accomplish on that side since you've been at Woodhaven?
Well, certainly the perception in town, right, in the golf community was that Woodhaven was just a social club.
Right.
And the golf course, as we say, is never going to be Valhalla, but we know that it's a great course for all skill levels to play. It challenges the scratch golfers. It's fun for the beginners. The extra facilities that we have, like the driving range, the par 3 course, and now we've added Wits End, which is an amazing 18-hole putting course. It just lends to everybody to come together, right, from beginners to club champions, and enjoy the game of golf. And what we really needed as I got there 6 years ago, was a young, vibrant energy in the golf shop, leading the golf shop. And we were blessed enough to bring on Miles Mahan, our head golf professional. And he's been just, a blessing for us. And it really has energized the golf programs. And we've done things, again, kind of out of the box, in tournaments. And we're always trying to engage the members with different things that they can participate in golf-wise. And every tournament's a sellout. Every year it seems like last year we had 120 players and we got 140 this year.
Right.
And we're just that's what we want. The atmosphere that we can create, right? On the golf course, in the cabana, at the pool. We have a saying that we've been on vacation since 1957, and that's what we live by. We want that resort type feel. We want members to come in and they want to be at the club enjoying themselves, and it's been incredible. And now we're adding some fun things like the Barstool Classic, and I don't want to get on to that golf train too
pretty
much.
Cool.
But people are certainly have their eyes on Woodhaven, and that's means a lot to
I'm
us.
hoping that Barstool thing may be a topic in the future, so we won't dive into that too deep. But you did mention Wits End putting course, and one thing that's been obvious at Woodhaven is you guys are always ahead of the curve, cutting edge, whether it's simulators, whatever it may be. You guys were doing that before anybody was even thinking of it in a club, right? Talk to me about Wits End. What's the vision there?
Basically, we wanted to be one of the first, again, to offer something that everybody can do, right? Top golf was a hot topic coming to town. You got some of these other small, putting type establishments, Putt Shack and Pop Stroke with Tiger Woods.
Right.
And we just felt we had the opportunity to really get in front of that. And putting is something that everybody can do, right?
Yeah.
Even when you go to Top Golf, you've got to grip the club, swing the club, and get the ball in the air to have some fun.
That's a good point.
Not everybody can do that.
Yep.
But everybody can grab a putter and roll a putt.
Agreed.
And we wanted to make the coolest, funnest, biggest, baddest putting green in the state of Kentucky, and I think that's what we did.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Chance, was that something you've been behind the whole time?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Miles was a big piece in it too.
Okay.
He had played on one down in Florida, and he was big behind the idea as well.
So, I mean, what's next? I mean, you guys are always innovating, right? And whether it's the cool golf carts or the Wits End putting, and again, like I said, the first time I'd ever seen simulators in an actual country club where you can go in and reserve bays and do that during the winter. I mean, you guys are always ahead of the curve.
Yeah, if we tell you that, we'd have to kill you.
Well, that's it, right? You can't give away the secret sauce. I mean, there's got to be something up the sleeve that's coming next. But
there is.
And that's just it. I mean, I think your members know that, right? I think they trust you guys. So, Chance, that's kind of my next question. To me, from kind of the outside looking in, one of the things you've done really well at Woodhaven is hired really good management. It's been really good managers there, people that have really done really well, whether it's on the wedding side, whether it's on the golf side, whether it's Richard, whatever it may be. The managers have been really, really impressive at Woodhaven.
Indeed, they have. We like to hire good people, and Richard is a fantastic person. We hired our first manager besides myself was Sarah Russell.
Mm-hmm. She was a rock star, sure.
Yes, she is a rock star. And then we brought on Richard, and we just brought on 2 new rock stars. And they're good people. They want to do well. They're in the hospitality business because they love it. They love taking care of people, and it's easy after that.
Yeah, right. You have the right people in the right places. It does make it easy, and you can trust them. And it sounds like, both you guys might be slowing down at some point. I tell you, the golf industry is dusk till dawn, right? You're there all day long, and especially when you have the night atmosphere. It reminds me a little bit of my family back in the day. I mean, you start the golf at 6 a.m., but the nightclub's rocking, and you're there until 1 or 2 in the morning. So it just doesn't stop.
Right.
And you're living that life. So it wears on you after a while. I mean, where do you guys stand now as far as, Chance, what do you see for your future?
Well, I'll see constantly improving Woodhaven.
I love it.
That's what I love to do. We may at some point start to slow down, but I don't see that in the near future. And we get some time off now, so it's not 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 like it used to be. We can get some time away and break out for a little time with the family and things of that nature. And we've been blessed because we brought on some good people and we were able to build a team.
Yeah.
And Richard will tell you, we take our team against any other team and anywhere.
Amen.
And
Sure.
we take care of each other.
And really, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because now that Chance has got a nice little vacation spot to go to a little bit here in Florida, you know, he'll get rested and recharge his batteries, and then he comes back and he's got a big to-do list.
Right.
You know, all right, now we're going to get into
now
this.
We're doing this. Yeah.
But no,
They dread when I come home.
So when we say we're slowing down, we're just thinking about new and better ideas, and we're energizing our team. You know, we've got the best team in town. And I think it shows. The members appreciate that.
Absolutely. Talk to me about outside events. That is something that's always kind of been important in Woodhaven, and something you guys have done really, really well for a lot of years. Is that still a focus?
Absolutely. You know, we've got Carrie Guzman, who's in charge of all the outside events right now, and she does a wonderful job. I think we're booked up for Saturdays for the entire year, and she's been booking stuff for 2025, and you know, we welcome the public. You know, if you'd like to get married out of Woodhaven, bring it on. You know, we've got a nice outdoor facility as well if you want to get married outside. But, you know, any kind of big event, we do tons and tons of charity events, lots of charitable outings and things of that nature. So the golf outings, Richard has that booked the entire season. There's no dates available. So we've been blessed in that arena, and it's a big part of what we do, and that helps us with one of the core things for Woodhaven, which is to be a value for our membership. You know, doing these outside events, bringing in extra revenue, is one way that we get to keep our dues down, and the members love that.
I was going to ask you that, because at a lot of clubs, they kind of frown on the outside event things. But it seems like the membership of Woodhaven embraces it.
Absolutely. Why not welcome that? I mean, if that's going to help you pay the bills and keep your bills down, you know, one of the great things about Woodhaven too is that we don't believe in forcing people to spend money. And I think we're the only club in town that I know of and have heard of that does not have any food minimums. We don't force them to buy food. We believe in having good food, and if you want to come out, enjoy. We do not have any member assessments. You know, most clubs typically, if you want to add a patio or if you want to add a wits end green, then, you know, you get a $10,000 bill. Yep. You know, good luck with that.
Absolutely.
And we believe in managing the place properly. And if you do that, then you save properly. And when you're ready for a capital improvement, boom, you knock it out.
There's a reason there's a waiting list, right, Richard?
Amen. And that's, you know, kind of as I've seen at other clubs, and we had a similar situation in Oxmoor when you and I were there together.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of a death cycle.
It is.
You know, you want to do nice things. You want to invest in the golf course, invest in the pool, but you don't have all that money sitting in the bank somewhere. So you've got to go to the members and ask them for some help and assessment, right? And then you lose members because some of them don't want to be a part of that. And so it's just a bad cycle that clubs get into. And there are certainly some great clubs in town that, you know, do things the right way.
Sure.
And they
Sure.
and their members love being there and can afford to be there. That, don't get me wrong with that. But our philosophy is just totally different at Woodhaven. And I think that's why you see a waiting list and people really wanting to be a part of the family at Woodhaven.
So the golf industry as a whole kind of had its ups and downs for the last 20 years or so. But ever since COVID, the golf industry has really bounced back in a major way. Have you guys seen that at Woodhaven?
Absolutely. It was a huge boost for us to get people back to the golf course. The rounds went up. I think that year right after COVID, or the year including COVID, we went up probably 25% in rounds of golf. And it's stuck around. You know, we're busy all the time. We watch our membership levels. That's why we have a waiting list very closely.
Right.
I mean, we're on it every other day having a discussion about where we're at, and we want to make sure that tee times are available and chairs at the pool are available, and everybody's enjoying their time. So unfortunately, we only have one golf course, and we can only do so much. But you know, this is going to be something going forward that, you know, as the golf industry evolves, like you said, you know, we're going to be at the front of that.
All right, guys, last question. And really, I think we've hit on a lot of this, but Chance, I want you to kind of rehash this a little bit. So let's act like I'm a potential member or somebody that's interested in Woodhaven. There's obviously a ton of options in our area. What makes Woodhaven different and unique, in your opinion?
We're the friendliest club in town. I mean, the minute you walk on the property, you can feel that. You've been there, Teague. I mean, it's
you're right.
It's unlike other places. It just is. It's special. It's the members are the best thing about Woodhaven, and we've been able to develop a great team, and it's just a different feeling. You know, when I started, I really wasn't planning on being in the family business, but I was looking for something else to do. And my dad said, why don't you come on and help us out here for a little while and take your time and decide what you want to do. I was hooked right from the start, and it's been great. And I knew that we needed help at the time, and just being able to serve people and serve the community was something I fell in love with. And the atmosphere's just been easy. It's I wanted to make sure I come to work every day and have fun, and all of our employees could have fun and not dread coming to work.
Oh, yeah. And
we were able to create that back then in the 90s, and it's helped elevate us until now.
Pretty awesome. Richard, anything you want to add there?
No, it's fun place.
Yeah.
You know, it's an adult playground, right?
Right.
And, families, kids, seniors, we have members that come back to us and say, I remember growing up here as a kid. You know, my grandparents were members here, and this place just brings me such joy. And that's the key ingredient right there is they're having fun, they're enjoying being a member at the club, and the team is excited to be there and give them the best we can give them.
I think that's a good place to stop. I want to thank you guys for listening to the first ever Woodhaven Wired. The goal here is to launch a new episode the first of every month. So we're going to dive into all kinds of different fun topics along the way. We're going to have a subset that if you would like to have a particular topic that you want us to talk about, please reach out to one of the Woodhaven staff members, and we'd be happy to dive into that particular subject. But thank you again for listening to Woodhaven Wired.